Buenos dias, bonjour. Greetings to the rainbow warriors, the rainbow tribes of the 144,000 frequencies sealed in the forehead, the light warriors of Hopi prophecy, and fellow celestial intelligencers of the Gnosis zone. I greet you in the love and light of our infinite prime creator, the divine grid programmer. Namaste, namaskaram. Now, really, in order to understand 9/11, the events that occurred on September 11th, 2001, to understand what that means, the Luciferian MegaRitual, perhaps there's a few other precedents, a few other stones on the path that one must understand for this to make sense. Now, keep in mind that all is energy. Everything is energy vibrating at a different rate, a different frequency rate. That is a fact. So in order to understand what a mega ritual, what this would, I mean, beyond the surface of the manipulation of mobilizing a democracy to go into wars of imperial aggression mode is essentially what happened, or what was capitalized upon the furor, the upset of the events of September 11th, 2001. And no less than Zbigniew Brzezinski in his book, The Grand Chessboard. If you're not familiar with that book, you need to read it. Zbigniew Brzezinski and his book, The Grand Chessboard, is an outline. And this was a former Russian KGB who was Nixon's foreign policy advisor, who went on into the think tanks and the Bilderberger groups and was always in the shadows of foreign policy advisement for the cabal, deep state. Zbigniew Brzezinski said that you would need, and this is post, when he published this book was after, I believe, after 2001, but he said that you would, well, no, it was actually before. That's sorry, my chronologically, I need a little drink of Folgers coffee, instant and adequately heated. Anyway, Zbigniew Brzezinski in his book that predates the events of September 11th, 2001, basically said in his book that for the United States to secure and procure its geopolitical power and to ensure that it lasts well into the next century, that they needed to secure the Eurasian landmass, essentially that area that we went into, Iraq, Afghanistan, all through there. And that to mobilize a democracy, an event so horrendous, would have to occur. And he gave the examples. But basically, to mobilize a democracy into wars of imperial aggression is essentially what took place post 9/11. That is the surface returns. That is the return on investment for such an action. Why that would happen. They created such a furor in the hearts and minds of Americans on that day. They mobilized generations to raise their hands, right hands, and swear allegiance and go overseas in wars of imperial aggression. I had already raised my hand in 1987. I was almost a full decade in the ranks of the United States Army prior to all this. I was much wiser to the reality of military service, as I had practically over 10 years of it by the time 2001 took place. Well, yeah, pretty much. I had over 10 years of service because I went into Army basic training at 17 years of age in October of 1987. That's a lot of sevens. It's a lot of sevens. I'm in heaven. Anyway, sealed in the forehead, light warriors, the frequency of 144,000. Namaste, namaskaram. In order for you to understand what a mega ritual, why this would be something that's even orchestrated beyond what was already achieved for the dark forces, the cabal, with their wars of imperial aggression. And really, it also, the whole purpose to go into Iraq, not to blow anybody's minds, but you need to get with the times. I'm blowing minds so you can get with the times. That's what this whole series of videos on 9/11 is about, because the hour is critical. The great event is nigh, near. The wheat from the chaff has been separated all along, but it's bam. The real reason to go into Iraq was Mount Hermon and the Stargates, and also the newly acquired Stargate artifacts and technology. Moreover, Saddam Hussein styled himself as the second coming, or the new Nimrod, what have you, and he was activating those Stargates. That's all CIA declassified intel. Go look it up. Get with the times, kid. But to understand a Luciferian MegaRitual, you need to understand the concept of LOOSH. All right. So this is just a brief visit with LOOSH, with Robert Monroe, former CIA contact or operative, who basically, I'll read about it. Robert Monroe is regarded as a modern pioneer. You can read along, kids. Fellow celestial intelligencers of the Gnosis Zone. Much respect. Fellow light warriors, sealed in the forehead of the frequency of 144,000. The great solar flash, the great event is nigh. Stand fast in the harness. Stand fast in the harness, light warriors. LOOSH. But Robert Monroe is regarded as a modern pioneer and explorer of the non-physical realms, using out-of-body or astral travel. His first book on the subject, Journeys Out of the Body, was published in 1971, and Monroe treated it in quite a methodical and almost geographical manner. Obviously, out-of-body travel and exploration is not new to mankind, but this was not the first time. So you can read that. You can pause the video. I just want to get to the concept of what LOOSH is all about. Here's a little aside over here on the side. It says, in one of his many out-of-body travels, visionary researcher Robert Monroe, he's the one that did the CIA gateway, where the CIA and our United States government did this massive research on time travel and Stargates. In one of his many out-of-body travels, visionary researcher Robert Monroe came across the story of LOOSH cultivating and harvesting, and was shocked to discover how humans and our emotional energies may fit into the cosmic food chain. All right. I mean, that in a nutshell. I mean, you can, if you want more information on this, leave a comment. I can, I can accommodate information requests. But LOOSH, found to originate from a series of vibrational actions in the carbon-oxygen cycle, and the residue was LOOSH in varying degrees of purity. It occurred only during such action and secondarily during the reactive process. This is what was cultivated, the fear, the anxiety. This is the gold, if you will, of the digital matrix. This is what our world management team, the controllers, the dark forces, the cabal, it ties into adrenochrome, all that stuff. LOOSH is the astral energy that those lower fourth dimensional entities have been reaping. The energy, food that we give off in forms of anxiety, fear, what have you. Anything of the lower vibrational nature that they take and harvest. So here we have more, a little bit talk on it, the first and second crops. Someone hovered over his garden for a long period and stayed where he attempted the third crop. It was indeed a challenge. True is part, it's fascinating. He's calling them crops, it looks like. He then tried his first crop, which actually did produce LOOSH, but only in small quantities. Life periods, he started second crop. Plan of forfeit, someone removed various samples, but this is just the details. The growth and life termination process was such length that soon the mobiles would all but decimate the second crop. The mobiles took nourishment from the second crop, thus ending its lifespan. You know, you can look into that, but this is just very detailed example of experimentation that proves the existence of this LOOSH, this energy. Here's a liquid gold garden area. It's fascinating. Tuning to another portion of this garden, the gaseous area with dense compound base. Someone applied. This is just this. Thus it was that the rule of the prime catalyst came into being. Conflict among carbon oxygen cycle unit brings forth consistent emanations of LOOSH. Let me read that in a more clinical manner. Conflict among carbon oxygen cycle units bring forth consistent emanations of LOOSH. It was as simple as that, as a side experiment. So there you go, folks. You can stop it, press the pause button. You want to kind of read into that. I wanted to preface and put into context what a mega ritual, what it would be all about. Like, rather beyond manipulating consciousness and brainwashing entire generations of people with a certain outlook and a certain predisposition to action, along with all that, all the anger, the fear, the anxiety, all that was created from that event, is the why a mega ritual. And we're going to go into that as we go into this series, Most Dangerous Book in the World by S.K. Bain, 9/11 as a mega ritual. We're going to see how all that was orchestrated in a ritual, from a ritual standpoint. Yeah, so you can, that's all kind of the nuts and bolts of what LOOSH, the concept of LOOSH, what they feed upon, what's fed upon. Me, I just feed upon a nice cup of instant Folgers coffee. Nothing presumptuous. I'm not going through the drive-through at Starbucks. With my vehicle running as I'm waiting to purchase my $10 macchiato at my $6 a gallon gas, as my vehicle's running and I'm waiting in line at the Starbucks so I can, no, kid. Folgers, instant coffee, and adequately heated. Anyway, not to be too rambunctious. That is what the return would be from a mega ritual on the size of what 9/11 was, what that was all about. And that I felt that concept was important to get out there and discuss and put out in the minds of my fellow celestial intelligencers in this gnosis zone. Knowledge is power. Everything is energy. Energy follows thought. The voltage of our cells, the electricity, the light body of our bio divine human matrix is a reality. We're not just this meat suit, this genetic vehicle. There's subtleties and levels of subtleties and energetic components. There is a subconscious mind component, a conscious mind component. We're very intricately, because we're designed by the creator, the source of all creation, the divine grid programmer. We are divine. We are the highest models on the market, if you want to look at it like that. I don't follow the AI God. I mean, I was in technology for a while. I appreciate technology, but this is the real technology. The third eye, the subtle light body system, energy system. Once you get your Kundalini activated and has risen, uncoiled from the base, journeyed up through the chakras, activated all the chakras, the crown chakra activated, the brilliant flooding of the violet flame of Saint Germain, engulfing your worldly knowledge, transcending to infinite intelligence, connecting to the galactic chakra and beyond. Well, the tomfoolery and the mimicry of Luciferian AI, I don't know, it's all in the metaverse. Go run up and join for that. But once you experience just a mere taste of the divine technology, the mimicry of the Luciferian artificial intelligence technology, well, you just feel kind of sorry for it. I mean, they can achieve some things, and they've been breaking the rules, bending the rules of they've been transgressing universal law. That's why they've all been kicked off this planet. So the more gnosis of this whole dynamic and all this back play that's been going on, that more awareness you have of that, the less susceptible you are to any type of artificial intelligence, negative timeline tomfoolery. And to really ensure that, you need to hit that subscribe button. Just take your finger there, your index finger, and deploy your index finger onto the keyboard, said keyboard, navigate cursor to subscribe and subscribe. See, the AI just took over me. The artificial intelligence technology just took over me because my ego's in play. I'm trying to push this channel like it's some kind of second coming of Christ, like it's some big deal. But that's the AI technology. But the divine connection to infinite intelligence reined me back in, said, whoa, settle down, kid, settle down. Just take another drink of your coffee and sign off. Sayonara.
Namaste, namaskaram.